Hello everybody, welcome to today's video. I hope you enjoy, so let's get started.
I just keep on making bigger projects for myself. Yes, we were just putting together the fixtures here, but then I'm like, they do need a home. I mean, most certainly. And, well, this wall's a little occupied with all these lights on their arms. These are right here. And, I mean, while it's not a bad spot, this area could be utilized a little bit better because it has a little bit more space. You know, over here, we have the vehicle, so people walking by, I can't really have more things with arms over here, it'd be in the way. So the original idea that I was having is to put up shorter arms like I did with the street lights and move the lights closer to the wall. Well, to be honest with you, getting these pipes and fittings is not the cheapest thing in the world. By the time you're done, you might as well have just bought one of those really cheap arms, just like this thing has on it, and you know, it'd be the same thing. Now, this is much higher quality and can hold much more weight, but the flange is like $14 and the pipe is like $6. So when you're all said and done, you got like $20 worth of arm here, and I could have gotten that in one of those cheap arms. Now, I'm not saying that you should just get one of those cheap arms. I like this idea better. It's a lot more, it's just not cheap and junky. But the point is that it's expensive. And I have a lot of these fixtures here that would need that type of treatment. Now, thinking about this, if I leave them on these arms, I don't know if I'd leave them here. Maybe I'll take one of them to work. I have a spot there in the warehouse that I could put one of them. Maybe I'll put them, I don't know, somewhere else out here. Or they could end up over here somehow. Maybe over there, maybe right on this wall. I'm not sure. The problem really is I can't put anything over here that sticks out too far. So here is my new grand plan. We have been working on moving lights to the wall here, which is great. You know, it puts them on display and we can demonstrate them. Now, these don't stick out as far as those, for example. So, let's put them over here. Well, how am I going to hide the cords? I do like the cords hidden, and the cords themselves, well, go right behind these boards, which we can get a better look at if we use the wide angle. So, all the wires are hidden, which is nice, but I can't really do that over here. I have the drywall in place. But let's take a closer look at this drywall. Do you notice anything different between here and here? There's a couple differences. This is a darker color. I'm thinking this is original. And this was added when they did all the other junk out here. The other reason I think that is look at how they brought this all the way down nice and neat and flush. And then here they brought it down to just above like the sill. What is up with that? Then they have some weird patchwork going on here. And at the top, it's not even the same height. I'm thinking because of this color difference, I mean this whole wall over here, all of this is the same kind of off-white color. You get over here and you get a whole different type of sheetrock. Same with the stuff in the corner, same with the stuff I had right here. And in the middle of the room and all that. Now all that over there, that's all original. The walls and stuff they had here when I got the place, none of that is. None of it is. So, I'm thinking of taking this down. What am I going to put in its place? Well, obviously those boards of the lights. But these boards are kind of small, let's be honest. And let's also be honest, I like lights. So we're going to collect more. And we need space for that expansion. This obviously is getting a little full. Not saying that this cannot be full, but, you know, we need more area and those boards are kind of small. So, to remove the drywall, that allows us to have a gap in the back because there's no insulation here, it's a garage. And the cords can go down the back, making it look nice and pretty. And, you know, well, we got to put a board here. So I have in the corner over here some of these outdoor wall, I don't know, siding panel sheets. They're not the same as what's on the house. So I don't really know where they got that from. They probably got it for cheap somewhere. And, well, that's what I'm going to put on the wall with gaps in between to push the wires through so that there's a home for them to go behind and hide. Plus it'll put some type of covering on the wall. And I mean, it's an outside wall. That's where the lights would be mounted anyway. The reason I want to put that up instead of the sheetrock is because that's solid. It's like 3-layer plywood or something. And this is not. You can't screw anything into sheetrock. It's a terrible, sad time all the time. So, I think that's what we're going to do. I know we're in the middle of a big project already, but I really want homes for things when we're all said and done. So currently, we have our fixtures done here. I have one arm I bought yesterday because I just wanted to see if a 6-inch pipe or a 4-inch pipe would be better, but a 4-inch would be a little too tight, so we're going to have to go with 6. And the original idea that I was going to do here is put a 2x4 on the wall, but you know, that adds a bit of space as well. So it makes it stick out, and it would just be out too far. So, you know, if I had fixtures out so far, you still need to squeeze between the vehicle. And who knows if in the way distant future I have a different vehicle or something, and it's even, you know, it would be even harder to squeeze by. But for the moment, I think that's what we're going to do. It's a pretty ambitious moving around of things project, but I think the result will be nice because this is a nice big area to put fixtures and actually make a nice display wall versus my cobbled together whatever wall here. With the vehicle out of the way, we take everything off the wall. Now let's see what's behind it. Behind wall panel number 1, we find some Y's and zeros. I guess there were more zeros than Y's in both instances or whatever. We have our electrical that goes to the outlets, whatever this plastic thing is, and a bunch of dirt. And wall number 2 unveils, well, more damage to the outside barrier thing. I don't know what in the world they were doing here. I kind of pushed it back into place. Maybe I'll put some tape over it or something just to keep it nice and flush, and well, that's what it should be doing. Anyway, we have our outlet here, and as you can see, it kind of makes its way up and over and then down to our electrical box. Now the funny thing is that they have holes here drilled for the rest, but then they have new holes for this. So I don't know what in the world or why they drilled secondary holes for everything. But that's the electrical when they put all these outlets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all on the same circuit. Now there's one in this corner over here. I think it's on a different circuit. But there's 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, all on one circuit. And it looks to be 12 gauge wire. So I think it's a 12 amp. Or 12 amp, oh my goodness, a 20 amp circuit because it's yellow, unless the color code doesn't matter back then. I don't know, they've been changing the colors of all this stuff. Either way, that is what is behind our wall. We have one little piece to take off. We'll vacuum, clean it up, and then we'll proceed with putting up a new wall. All vacuumed up, and I'm wondering if this electrical panel here is not original because there's a hole here that looks like it used to lead to where a panel used to be, and maybe the power came out here to go to these. I don't know. I don't know why you drill new holes anyway. Maybe there's a date on here. Yeah, 2011 actually. Yeah, what is that? 9/7/2011. Okay, so I mean, that is most certainly new. I wonder if this panel is pretty much new. Maybe that's why there's a separate box up here. It used to be a little higher. Maybe it was a lower amperage for the house. So we got a bigger panel here. I'm not really sure. But I'm also thinking it's a newer panel because there's another hole here that must have led somewhere and another one there. Now they don't go anywhere here, really. Maybe they came down to these holes and went over. I don't know, but the wire being from 2011, yeah, this most certainly is newer. Now, you know, a lot of the electrical here seems to be older and probably original to the house. But yeah, this must have had an upgrade to the panel. Now, one thing I have done is I have located blanks to put in here because this was all open, and obviously that's a safety problem. And a while back, I located blanks that pop right in here. Perfect, solved that problem. But this must be a newer panel then. I wonder if there's a date on it somewhere. I don't know why I never thought of that when I got the place. But yeah, so replacement panel, I assume. Again, that's probably why this is up here. Either way, we got all this done. And another thing is I did a really good job finding where these hooks were gonna go. I don't know if I'm gonna leave them there or not, but those are the hooks that held the lights up. They're right in the middle of the studs. Very nice. A little bit of cleaning up here on the floor, and we'll continue on. Here's another interesting thing to note. As you can see, there's kind of a barrier in the center of your screen that is stapled onto the studs. I am wondering, since this looks to be more original sheetrock over here, if that is indeed insulation. Now, I'm not going to open it up to look. I guess we could see through here. I mean, you know, there's nothing wrong with just feeling around. I don't feel anything in there. Maybe get a flashlight or something. But maybe that's what that was. In fact, you can see in there is some type of insulation in the wall. So behind all of the original sheetrock here, there appears to be insulation, and I have seen bits of it over here when doing different things. So, I mean, they started to do something with insulation out here, at least originally, and then they decided to just stop right here, or maybe they had more and they ripped it out for some reason. I don't know what's in that corner. I've never opened that up, but I don't think there's any insulation there either. Yeah, interesting things to note. We got one board, two boards, and now I'm working on a third thinner one to go right here. I just need to cut out the hole for the outlet. So let's see how that turns out. And there's the third panel. Worked out really good cutting a hole for the outlet here, actually. Super happy with it. Okay, now we just got to get lights on it. I guess a positive that came out of doing this too is that it helped me clean up my little corner of random wood pieces. It has finally come time to transfer lights from here and other places in the room to our new display area. There's the first fixture on our wall. Looks a little slanted, but it's well, supposed to be level anyway. I don't know, I'll have to check on that. Either way, this has a unique bulb in it, as you can see. That's not a normal deluxe white bulb or clear, that's black light. That's a 125 watt mercury vapor black light bulb. And I wish I could just level this thing. There we go. Hey, you know, that looks a little bit better. Anyway, this is a 125 watt mercury vapor fixture. And I bought this bulb many years ago. And, well, I've never actually turned it on, but I did put it in this fixture because, well, it's a 125 watt mercury vapor ballast. So why not? Let's turn it on for the first time. Here we go. Oh, that's awesome. 125 watt mercury vapor black light goodness. Of course, it's gonna take a little bit to warm up, but yeah, that's a unique thing to see in a fixture like that. Unfortunately, the refractor blocks most of the UV light, but if you want it underneath it, it does give a show. You know, it makes everything glow, like my shirt here, for example. But if we move out just a little bit, it pretty much goes away. Yep. And even more lights have made it onto the display. So we have the American Electric 125 watt mercury vapor, the Electropack American Electric, I don't know what it has on it, 70 watt high pressure sodium. We have 80 watt electronically ballasted mercury vapor. It's like IDC something or another, ICI, or I don't remember the company exactly. The GE 100 watt mercury vapor mogul base. And this Cooper Lighting Regent 100 watt mercury vapor. This is actually the very first 100 watt mercury vapor fixture I ever had in the collection. It came off of the Menards display back in the day, right before it was discontinued, actually. And I do have the refractor for it. It's the same as this one, except this one's high pressure sodium. But I do still have the refractor for it. Instead, for whatever reason, I put this thing on it. I think it was easier to move around and whatever, just more durable. Anyway, oh, and of course our McGraw Edison 175 watt mercury vapor light I just hung back up there just to see how it would look with the others. And now we continue transferring more over. We got some wall packs up there. So we'll just continue on. And here we are so far. I'm very happy with it. It adds a bit more space and it consolidates everything into one space. So we kind of have our area lights at the top, some wall packs, here. There should be enough space for 2 more. I have another one of these that I haven't unboxed yet that I want to put here. It's a special kind. And then I'm not sure what I'll put here. Maybe another one or something that comes down the line. And these things that are lower is where I'm thinking of putting these, the kind of, entryway lights. This one will get a home too, just haven't decided where in the display yet. But as you can see, it kind of opened up a lot of areas here. And the nice thing about that is that we have new possibilities to put our bigger fixtures, like these right here. And this is how it exists at the very moment. So there is some extra space left over here. We have something pretty cool going in right here, something that we don't have on the board right now. So that'll be a pretty cool addition coming hopefully soon. But as you can see, we have pretty much 2 more rows of stuff here if we did smaller wall packs and things like that. So I'm real happy about that. And that cleared up this wall over here pretty nicely. So again, this wall will be utilized to do displays, but of mostly bigger fixtures like this one. Of course, the ones on the floor over here, they will need to find a home. And I'm hoping it'll be somewhere over here because they can stick out further. Again, you have the car here, you can only get so much, to have someone walk by. So these are more compact against the wall. I really like this idea. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Now I will get some type of lighting here so that it kind of lights it up as well to just, show them off a little bit. We'll see what I do. Maybe I'll just put a strip up there or something. But I kind of have an idea to use this 2x4 beam here to put some of our other fixtures. So we'll have to see how that progresses here going forward. But it'll pretty much be able to organically fill itself in as we find things, which will be nice. Now, as I wind down the day, I need to clean up my area here. We still have some clean parts for the traffic vision that need to be put together. They'll probably be set aside and worked on throughout the week. And of course I have the fixtures here that need to find a home for the moment. I have some things that need to be put away, like the sunshade sail. I haven't put that thing out for a while. I just haven't had a use for it outside. So we'll just keep it longer, and that lives in the bin there. But the bin worked out really good for using it as a cleaning tub yesterday. So we're slowly getting there with the progression of changing everything up, but I'm real happy with it. I think we're using the space much more efficiently, and that is the goal. It's cluttered, but at least we're ready for a new week.
I really do hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. Leave a like down below and a comment. I do enjoy reading all of your comments. Of course, check out the other videos here on the screen. And until next time, thank you very much for watching.